was shipping
Wow.
out, and I loved basic training.
And how did your family handle
So
that?
my family, they at first didn't really care. They were like, okay, well, she's old enough to do whatever she wants. It didn't really hit them until I was deploying. I was like, hey, I'm leaving. And they were
Yeah,
Sure.
like everything just, yeah.
this is real now.
And so
Yeah,
it was mainly my dad. My mom
yeah.
cried, but
Yeah.
my dad was just like, you could tell that he was hurt and he was scared. And so I actually came back
Sure.
from Iraq on his birthday, 11/11 of 11.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Wow. I came back from Iraq on my mom's birthday of all things. That was my
isn't that
mom's birthday when
cool?
we got home. So
Nice.
that's
Yeah, and
wild.
so
Yeah.
he gave me the biggest hug. He was not
Yeah.
a very affectionate parent. He was more like on the tough side, but I mean, he was a great father. A lot of great advice, but he wasn't too soft, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
S
I think that's parents in that
yeah,
generation. It was a
yeah,
lot like that,
and
especially with
so
men not being able
yeah,
to
I
express
agree.
emotion and
And so when I came home, he gave me the biggest hug, and he told me that he loved me, and he was happy that I was back, and I was like, "Wow, I've never seen this out of my dad."
yeah, yeah. It took almost losing you for him to realize, like, "Hey, I should
Yeah,
probably
I
give
was
her a
gonna
hug
say,
every once in a
well,
while."
well,
Yeah.
it based on what we know is like that makes a lot of sense because you're a
Yeah.
Purple Heart recipient, and we
Yeah.
do want to get into that. But let's take a step back and go. Okay, so you went to basic training. You found yourself in Missouri, and
And 4
you
I
Lost
was
in the
hoping we were gonna get
Woods.
through this
Oh
without
my
saying
goodness.
that.
You know
for
what?
lost in the
It
woods.
was so funny
Oh,
because Kansas and Missouri are neighbors. So we can be in Joplin, Missouri
Yeah,
within 20 to 25 minutes from where I live. I'm not kidding you. They made us fly from Kansas City to Fort Leonard Wood. I'm not kidding you. So I'm like,
how high did you even get? Like
S
20,000 feet or
so
like
I thought that was the stupidest thing, but the military doesn't always make sense, right?
wow.
Uh,
sure.
They wanted to make sure that budget stayed the same next year. They didn't wanna lose
and
that money.
so there was a few of us who shipped out, and we made it to basic training, and then another punch in the gut when they were like, "You're graduating, now you're going to AIT." And I was like, "Finally, I'm getting a break from Fort Leonard Wood," and they were like, "Carry like front load and back
Yeah,
load, and then
pack
you're
your
going
bags,
across." Yeah.
walk to the other side.
I was like,
Straight. So much disappointment.
Yeah,
Uh,
and just for context, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Josh and Carol, you guys were in the same
yeah,
basic training company and the same truck
we
company in
were.
AIT. You
Yes.
yep,
guys went basic
yep,
Yeah.
AIT
So
together.
yep. Yeah, we're the last of the Mohicans when it came to drill sergeants in AIT too. When we left, we graduated AIT right before Exodus, Christmas
mhm,
Exodus, and when they came back after Exodus, it was just drill
yeah.
instructors. There was no more drill sergeants. So
Did you guys have the shark attacks at basic training at
I
Fort
don't
Leonard
think
Wood?
so. What's that?
actually, what really sucked about our basic training is we got stuck with a reserve unit. So every
Oh,
2 weeks there was new drill
Mhm,
sergeants that
mhm.
came in. So, like, you would get a guy that just came off the couch a couple weeks ago, and he was, like, trying to smoke us, and he would do, like, 5 push-ups and then be done, and
right.
everybody's like, "Well, wait a second here, like, how are you gonna tell us to do that? You just"
That
So,
is,
that was something because it basically restarted red phase, like, every 2
Yeah.
weeks for a couple days because
yeah,
they had
that's
to,
true.
they
Every
had to
time you got
reset
a
the
You
new
know,
one
reload.
in.
what's
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
thing that I became really good at in basic training, and it went on to even now. I became an awesome runner. Remember when we had like the
Oh,
platoon
sure.
guide, but then when they had the roadblocks, we were them. I was one of them, so I had to like
Yeah.
run ahead of the platoon to block. So it
Yeah.
was a lot of sprinting, which at the time I didn't know that this sprinting makes you a really good runner. So actually, whenever I came back from overseas, running is one of the ways I coped with the reintegration and the stress.
Hmm.
But I remember,
Oh, you did it in a healthy way.
oh, but
Imagine
I
that.
was fortunate enough to go into the mental health field right away. So I mean, I understood. So I mean, not
Yeah,
Right.
everyone's
perfect.
that fortunate, and I didn't recognize it that much at the time until
Yeah.
now. And I was actually talking about that at dinner last night. But anywho, this was funny because I came home and I had a friend who was a really good runner, and he was like, "Hey, let's run." He was training for, I think it was a 10K. And so we went to a park that's called Gun Park, and it goes down, and then the hills are very steep, and it's long.
Nice.
I went around that park like 3 times. He couldn't keep up with me.